I am counting every blessing, letting go and trusting when I cannot see. I am counting every blessing.
Welcome to the ND 500 podcast. On today, we're discussing our health, just as we do on every Tuesday. I had a great conversation with a few of my friends on Sunday, ministers, matter of fact. We were just kind of standing around and chit-chatting, and one of my close friends, he's a minister, and he was telling us how he had an eye-opening experience at a recent visit to his doctor. And he said his doctor made it very easy for him to know how to eat. And so I just want to share that with you in case that view may also help you and make it easier for you to know what to eat and how to eat. So my ministerial friend was telling me that his doctor made it very easy. He said, just take your plate and you should divide your plate up. Half of your plate, one side of it should be nothing but greens like spinach, kale, vegetables. Just one side of your plate. That's 50%. And then 25% should be a small piece of chicken, lean meat, like chicken breast or steak or something like that. And the other 25 should be carbs. Now, the portion in which I know that many people have an issue with or have a problem with when it comes to carbs. I totally agree with my friend's doctor and how he was explaining how he should eat. It definitely does make it easy, and his doctor recommended that once you eat that 50% of your greens, to drink a glass of water. And what that does is going to fill you up, and then you'll have the remaining 25% of lean meat, and then you'll have another 25% of carbs. Now, back to the part where I think that most people get mixed up in when we're talking about carbs. A lot of people don't understand what a carb is. So not all carbs are created equal. There are many types of carbohydrates, and there are different types of health effects that these carbohydrates provides for you. Although carbs are often referred to as simple and complex carbs, I personally find that whole and refined carbs makes it a lot more sense or easier for the average person to understand. For example, whole carbs are unprocessed and contain fiber that is found naturally in food, while refined carbs have been processed and have the natural fiber stripped out of them. For example, whole carbs include vegetables, whole fruit, beans like lentils, potatoes, and whole grains. These foods are generally healthy, but on the other hand, the refined carbs include sugar-sweetened beverages, fruit juices, pastries, white bread, white pasta, white rice, and others. Many studies show that refined carbohydrates consumption is associated with health problems like obesity and type 2 diabetes. They tend to cause major spikes in blood sugar levels, which leads to a crash that can trigger hunger and cravings for more high-carb foods. This is the blood sugar roller coaster that many people are familiar with. Also, refined carbohydrates are usually also lacking in essential nutrients. In other words, they're empty calories. However, the whole food sources of carbohydrates are loaded with nutrients and fiber, and they don't cause the same spikes and dips in blood sugar levels. As a matter of fact, hundreds of studies of high fiber carbs include vegetables, fruits, beans, whole grains, and they show that eating most of these are linked to better overall health and lower risk of disease. So I hope that helped you just a little bit. If you want to go out and try that formula in which my friend, his doctor, recommended, I totally agree with that, and you definitely will fill up if you split half of your plate up, half of it with greens such as spinach, kale, drink a glass of water after that, and I guarantee you won't be as hungry, you won't eat as much, or you definitely won't overeat, because once you eat those greens, what it does, it fills you up. And then you drink a glass of water behind that, something that you need. It definitely ensures that the hunger that you thought you had is no longer there, because your body is actually received what it needs to function properly. And so if you have any questions or just generally want to let me know how you're enjoying the ND 500 podcast, please feel free to send me an email at podcast@ndcode.com. Feel free to visit my website at www.ndcode.com. Until next time, live in truth.